Hi, welcome to Box on the Box, Rock and Celluloid, Bop Rack for short. I'm over Box, so really special day for me. This, I get to review a new album by my favourite band of all time, Judas Priest, so I've not been able to do this before on this channel, or I've probably done some Judas Priest patter. So we're talking about Invincible Shield, out today. Obviously been a big build up to this. Mid-October they released the track Panic Attack, and then three other track videos have been released prior to that, all kind of different styles to a certain extent. So a bit of a sort of, oh, what's the album going to be like? But it was clear from the clips that the production was excellent, and Rob Halford was sounding in fine form. So a bit of context. Obviously, I loved Firepower. Thought Firepower, although I liked what the band did when they came back with Rob Halford, I thought it was a real notch up. And although it's hard to say the album's classic, because obviously it's not produced in the classic period of Judas Priest, which is really from 1974 through till 1990, and their first sort of incarnation with Halford. It's definitely one of their better albums. I haven't met a person who's a Priest fan who doesn't like, well, I've met the odd one, but most people love Firepower. So it's quite a heavy expectation on this. Going into it. So basically last night I was watching TV and I walked, right, I'm going into YouTube. I found the album, and I had a couple of listens, not on great sound quality, but it was late at night. Then I got up this morning, I've been listening on the computer, and I went into town and bought it on CD, which is always, that's the only band I do this for now. I just order CDs online now, but for Judas Priest I always go to the shop. I have two rituals in my life. One is Judas Priest album day. If they're doing a new album, I go into the shop and buy it. And the other one is James Bond day. If a new James Bond film comes out, I go to the first showing possible on the opening day. So that's something I like to do. And what was lovely when I went in, there was a display with the Priest on, and right next door was the Bruce Dickinson solo album. So what a wonderful thing to have two of the greatest voices in metal, and have their albums out there proudly displayed. So this album's on a lot of formats. You've got a special cover for Amazon. You've got a deluxe edition CD which has bonus tracks, a standard edition CD, and you can buy the vinyl in 5 different colours, but it forms a spine. Yep, so if you get every vinyl, it forms a spine. So some people will have empty pockets today, but this is how it works now in the music biz. Bands are kind of selling things in multiple formats to get sales and get get it out there more. So I think the band have done a great job of the pre-marketing on this anyway. Okay, so the standard 11-track album is 52 minutes and 36 seconds long. About the same length as Angel Retribution, and the deluxe edition is 63 minutes 48 with the bonus tracks. So let's get into it. I'm going to have to look at my notes. It opens with Panic Attack. If you're a Priest fan, you've already heard this. I think this is a really cool track. It's got that cool kind of turbo guitar symphony intro, top vocals from Halford, quite interesting lyrics, and a nice sort of progressive-y type middle section, recalling Priest's kind of 70s work. A bit of odd time signatures, great guitar soloing. Top opening track. I've got to say, I don't think this is the track that should have opened the album, but we'll come to that. Next up's The Serpent and the King. This has been the most instant track for me when I heard it a couple of weeks ago. I was away, staying in a hotel, the track dropped, sorry. I put it on the phone, which sounds shit, but fuck it. Instantly it was like, this is fucking mint. Halford sounds great on this, the guitar's great. Scott Travis is on great form. He's on great form throughout the album. It's been one of the great things, again, Andy Sneaping, they brought Scott Travis back. He was sounding really leaden on Retribution, Nostradamus, and Redeemer to me at times. They weren't extracting the maximum out of him. And Ian Hill's bass is prominent, not only on this track, but he's got a bit more clank on his sound. It's something Andy Sneap's done, and he's really brought the rhythm section to the fore without compromising the guitars. Absolutely brilliant. So 4 minutes 19 this track. Panic Attack's 5:25. Should just say the average length of the tracks in this album is about 4.5 minutes. 4 minutes 40. Next up is the track that I think it should have opened the album. It's the title track, Invincible Shield. I think this is fucking Statement of Intent. If you had this track opening album, it'd be like Judas Priest back. This is a title track. Fucking there you go. It's really cool. It goes through a lot. It's quite a journey. It's got some of those progressive elements we're talking about. Just look at my notes. It's got a really staccato riff. I put epic riffage, epic soloing. There's a great end section where it goes into Halford, a kind of different progression. Halford's melodically singing the title, and it goes to a lovely harmony part. It really feels euphoric, this track, and the lyrics of it are all. The Invincible Shield is us, it's the audience, it's metal fans. But I've got to say, I think Halford's lyrics are better on this album. He's still doing the kind of lyrical subjects we know and love, but he's using more interesting words, and I think that recalls. It's kind of taking Priest back again. It's recalling the 70s and more early 80s lyrics, and I like that. I thought Firepower had some good lyrics on it. There was a period where Priest were doing some dodgy lyrics, like Turbo Album, Ram It Down on the Yes, Painkiller, Metal Meltdown, even all of them. But Invincible Shield's great, and then you got Devil in Disguise. This is my other new favourite Priest track. It's just what the album needs. It's 4 minutes 46. It's got a really good kind of crunching F sharp type riff. I think it's in F sharp, or they're probably tuned down half step. Halford's just, you can imagine him just kind of stomping, walking along, doing this, giving it full Halford. I love it. Great guitar solo on this. There's a really interesting vocal section, pre-solo or post-solo, I can't quite remember. I should just say I've listened to this 7 times, but I really, I need to do the review now. I probably need to leave it for a day now, because it's been quite intense. It's been like heroin today, I've been jacking up on Priest. But it's got a harmony section, a bit like Raw Deal, off the Sin After Sin album. I can't slow down. It's that vibe, bit of Stained Class, Killing Machine vibe to it. There's a Goner solo as well. There's a nice kind of bit where the lead break kind of syncopates to the drum, bits like the Nuno Betancourt used to do. Really good. I would say, what one of my notes here, I say this is the strongest 4 opening tracks to Priest album since Defenders of the Faith. So if you remember Defenders of the Faith, Silent Defenders of the Faith, Free Will Burning, Jawbreaker, Rock Hard Ride Free, The Sentinel, this is a 4 track punch against A Stream for Vengeance, Hellion, Riding on the Wind. Electric Eye, Riding on the Wind, Bloodstone. Again, it's like that. Albums after that, even Firepower, it's got 4 great opening tracks, but I'm not sure all those are the best tracks. There's better tracks later maybe, or so. I do love Never the Heroes, but I think these 4 tracks are maybe, if they're not the best on the album, they're certainly absolutely right up there. So next track's Gates of Hell. This is growing on me. It's probably one of my least favourite tracks of or maybe the least favourite track of the standard 11-track running order. 4 minutes 38. It's catchy and melodic. It's kind of got a Rock Hard Ride Free sort of feel. You maybe sort of say that track. Sort of reserving judgment. I do like it. It's not great. Then Crown of Horns. So this is a track, when they dropped it on its own, it was by far my least favourite track of the tracks they dropped, and it still is, but in the album it fits in a lot better. I was really enjoying this, where it appears in the album. I love Rob's vocal performance on this, I like the lyrics. I like the way it drops down a bit. It's more melodic. It's just the sort of track the album needs at this point. My main criticism is it's 5 minutes 45, and I think there could have been some pruning on the arrangement. You've got that kind of long guitar intro, which is good, but I don't think the track needs that. That's I think it's about 21 seconds. So I would kind of have it coming in with the intro, and even then it still takes a while for Rob's vocals to come in. Also, in the middle section before the solo, there's a kind of staccato riff that breaks down. That goes on quite long. That could have been halved. And then Halford does a section of "We're Calling for the World Tonight." Again, that runs 4 times, and I think it could have run 2. So it was something that could easily been done with the digital editing. That's just my opinion, but I think you could have knocked off, got this track just under 5 minutes or even more, and I think it would be more like Never the Heroes or something, more like that kind of length. But I do like the track more listening to it. So next up is As God Is My Witness. This has got a really quick rolling 16s riff. So the 2 tracks that I'll recall is Lever Rebel, off Painkiller in terms of its feel, and one of my all-time favourite Priest deep cuts, Hard as Iron, Sharp as Steel off Ram It Down. Yes, I know people knock the Ram It Down album, but that track's mint. I think it's a really good track. It's I'm reading stuff online, people are buzzing about this track. It's fast, it's furious, it's got top riffing, you know, guitar solos, Halford on full flow, really good. Just tracking back, say, you know, Halford's doing a cool thing on Serpent the King, you know, singing his high register and kind of dropping into his low register. Maybe some like cool editing, you know, work there from Andy Sneap, but Halford's sounding great. So yeah, God Is My Witness, very good. And then you got Trial by Fire. I like this track when they dropped it. I do like the feel. I like the 6/8 feel, and then they're doing something funny with the timing. I can't work out. It's got an odd time. I'm trying to count it, but it's got a weird kick to it. So that's kind of picking up the progressive element. I don't know totally where I'm at. I don't know if this track's like a really good sort of fillery arm track or whether it's more than that. Some people don't like it. I do like it. Then we've got Escape from Reality. I really like this. I was reading some stuff before, some people weren't into it, but it's got a really cool kind of heavy grinding Phrygian riff. It's got a cool clean part that's kind of got a minor and then a major tonality on the verse, a nice kind of dugga rolling slow 16 feel. And then it's got a cool kind of Aussie part. You can really hear on the midsection Rob singing. You know, you can imagine. You know why when he did the stood in for Ozzy on Black Sabbath, why it worked. I like the lyrics as well. Agony, Escape from Reality, brings you down. Pretty clever lyric there from Rob. Really good. 4 minutes 24. That one is it. Hold on. Yeah. Okay, and then we've got Sons of Thunder. Again, I think this is a total does what it says on the tin track. This is 2 minutes 58. Again, just a short belter of a Judas Priest track. Yeah, it's about riding motorbikes. It makes me want to get my old BMX and just ride down the road in full metal glory. I really like this. It's got a really good chant on the chorus. A mate said it reminds me of Accept, and I would say that it kind of, if you imagine the tracks on the Blood of Nations album, it's actually got that vibe. Yeah, I really like this track. It's one of my favourites. It's kind of simple and to the point. And then the 11-track CD finishes with Giants in the Sky. So this is kind of, it's some my notifications. This track, yes, it celebrates the musicians, the gods of rock we've lost. Obviously for Rob Halford, who's friends with Dio, he's friends with Lemmy, they've both gone. And obviously people of the past, like Bon Scott, people like the classic Uriah Heep people we've lost recently, and so on. So it's a really poignant tune. I like it. It's kind of like Children of the Sun off the Firepower album. It's got that groove, but there's a really nice clean section in the middle where it breaks down. There's some really nice possibly nylon string, certainly steel string, flamenco inspired soloing. And it's kind of like Sea of Red as well. It's kind of like more kind of closing track. I do like it. It's got a great it finishes with a scream at the end as well from Rob, so it's pretty cool. So of the 11-track CD, I really like it. I do think there's, like I would have opened with Invincible Shield, and I'm going to throw a curveball next. So your bonus tracks, you got Fight for Your Life. So this is the first bonus track. I love this track. It's got a classic kind of Killing Machine type sort of riff, and again recalling Raw Deal off the Sin After Sin album. When you hear those tracks, you'll know the style of riff, basically droning the D string, pentatonic style with the open A string and playing inverted fifths. Very kind of classic Priest riff, but it's really good. I think it's really melodic. I really like the chorus. It's a very melodic track. Now, I think this would fit in well with the 11-track CD, and I actually think it'd fit in well, after Serpent the King. The Serpent the King's got that kind of Hellbent for Leather type of riff. That's his Invincible Shield. But if you slot it in there, it would make a nice kind of companion piece to that style. So people may think it's controversial, but I would have actually had this in the original 12-track, and I'd maybe move Gates of Hell to a bonus track. but I don't know yet. It's too early to say. Then you got Vicious Circle. This is 3 Misses 1. I'm fine with this as a bonus track. It feels like an afterthought, this track. It feels like it's a crunchy riffing track. The production does sound outstanding on this track. The guitars are meaty as fuck. It's just say the bottom end's kind of more controlled on this recording. One of the problems with the firepower is, not it's a problem because I love it, but when I put it on my car, my speakers can't quite cope with Andy Sneap's bottom end, and I have to roll the bottom end down a notch or two. On this I haven't had to. So maybe Andy Sneap's got some new gear, maybe he's got some new like little frequency tweak that just tightens that up, so he's got that fatness but it's under control. The production's, great on this again. So Vicious Circle, yeah, it feels like it just needs more to develop it. It's only 3 minutes and 1. And then I'm finished with The Lodger. So this is a Bob Halligan track. They often use Bob Halligan for like a sort of more commercial song. This is weird. This is a spooky, Hitchcockian track. So for film buffs there, you'll know that Alfred Hitchcock, his first breakout film in the silent era was The Lodger. And I'm wondering if Bob Halligan Jr. has taken inspiration from that. There's quite a famous stage actor in it. Sorry, I'm going into film, but there's actually a sequence in it where the ladies in the kitchen, the lodger's pacing about upstairs, and it actually has kind of animated, or it kind of dissolves into his feet on his shoes on the ceiling. It's quite an arty shot for that time. But it's Hitchcock's first kind of film that got him recognised, in his silent era. But anyway, this kind of fits in the Ripper and Spectre to me. It's very cinematic. It's very like dropping into a mini movie. I'm not sure it would fit on the 11-track album, so I think it's better as a bonus track. But I do like it. It's just an interesting track. When I first heard it, I was like, I couldn't believe God, Priest to come up with this. But obviously, it's Bob Halligan track, so interesting. Okay, so that's my take for that. I'm just going to look at a few notes here. The other note is the BVs. There's quite a lot of stacked BVs on this, and again, that's kind of recalling the Sin After Sin era. Call for the priest and I, and that Queen influence. And there's also little kind of odd backing vocals which kind of recall Sad Wings. So I think I read somewhere today someone said, this is kind of like Judas Priest from 79 to 90. And yeah, I would actually go back further. There's little elements from 76 to 99. You can hear the journey Priest been on. Other people said it's the most guitar driven album. There's certainly a lot of guitar heroics on this album. I love what Richie Faulkner's doing on this. I did like Firepower. On the Redeemer of Souls album, he was doing some kind of Zack type licks and that, but he kind of settled more into his style. On the Firepower album, and the solos felt more individual and crafted for the songs. There's amazing solo on this. Sometimes he's using some of the same ideas, a lot of use of the flat 5 of the blues scale, and using that to kind of use diminished 7 type runs. Randy Rhoads, obviously guitarists will know what I'm speaking about. The other thing is, where's Glenn on this? I still find it hard to spot Glenn in this era. I can hear, I think, where he's doing solos, but the tone's very similar. I'm not sure what method they're using to capture Glenn's lead playing. Sometimes Faulkner's doing solos, it's almost like he's trading off with himself. Sometimes I do miss the KK and Glenn trade-off. There's still a part of me would like Glenn involved with the writing, but another player with a contrasting style come in and really, play off Faulkner. But, it is what it is. I think that's it. So summing up, I think this is an excellent record. I'm very happy with it. Whether it's as good as Firepower, I don't know yet. That doesn't bother me. I wasn't necessarily expecting it to be as good as Firepower. I wasn't necessarily expecting Firepower Part 2. It kind of fits in with that thing where you've got an album like Screaming for Vengeance and Defenders of the Faith comes out, and some people prefer Defenders of the Faith, some people prefer Screaming. You've got Stay in Class, it's fucking incredible. Killing Machine comes out, I don't like Killing Machine as much, but it's fucking great. Some people prefer Sin After Sin to Sad Wings. They're all part of that journey, and this fits right in. This has got, there's no reason why this album should be as good as it is at this stage of the career. It is quite a lot to take in. I reviewed the new Saxon album a few months back, and that's 42 minutes. And I do like that, and sometimes I wish maybe Priest, the Redeemer of Souls, Nostradamus, Firepower, they're all long albums. But I guess Priest are taking long between albums and they're giving us more tracks. Since, including Angel Retribution, they've done 69 full songs across 5 albums. Obviously Nostradamus has got more on it. But they've done, little kind of short pieces on that, and you've got a track like Guardians off Firepower. So, they've almost produced 7 albums material across 5 albums. And, Loch Ness is like 13 minutes long, so that's like 3 tracks in one. But, I'm joking aside, but they are giving us a lot of music. This is the 9th studio album. It would be nice to get to 20, I think, and I hope they do. I think that would be a great way to hand off. I'll just give you a heads up on this channel on Botbrack. I will be doing a ranking of all the Judas Priest albums, including this, when I've decided. So, check that out. Great production, great playing, great rhythm section work, great solos, Halford on great form. We can't ask for more, really. What would I mark out of 10 at the moment? Well, it's certainly an 8 out of 10. Totally confident it's an 8. It may be more. So that's my review, Invincible Shield. It's been a great Judas Priest day for me, and it feels great to be able to review a new Judas Priest album on this channel. Like I say, I hope we'll get another opportunity. And remember, share and subscribe, and I'll see you again soon. Thanks very much. Cheers.